In this video, we are going to create this beautiful Chaos Dutch pour. I'm going to explain and show you how I create all these cells and lacing effects and what the whole purpose of this painting is for, because there is a surprising revelation later in the video, so stay tuned for how to create this lovely presentation. Okay, my friends. In this painting, I am using Liquitex Basics Light Blue Permanent. And right there I'm pouring on that Liquitex Basics Light Blue Permanent. I also have Liquitex Basics Lime Green, which I'm pouring on right now. Master's Touch Pale Blue. Now all of my paints are mixed very thin with water and a little bit of Floetrol. And another color that I have, oh my goodness, I'm going to just show you a screenshot. I don't even know how to pronounce this, but it's a very pretty green. Deco Art Extreme Sheen Deep Sapphire Blue. My lightest blue, my Liquitex Basics Light Blue Permanent that I put on first, is also mixed with a little bit of white acrylic paint. I'm pretty sure I used Michael's Artist Loft paint, but honestly, I think any old white would have done. I wasn't trying to achieve an effect with it. I just was trying to lighten the blue just a little bit. That was it. Any white would have done. And Master's Touch Light Olive Green. So my friends, it's my intention that in this piece, I'm going to use it for something very specific, which I'm going to tell you about later on. And so I really have to be mindful as to where I'm placing my colors, which is why I have my blue in very large proportions up in the top section. And I'm focusing more on the greens down in the lower section. And I have a specific reason for this, my friends. And what I'm going to be doing is I want this to look like it's a garden, but obviously in a very stylized, impressionistic sort of way. Not impressionism in the truest sense of the art world word. That is an entirely different sort of style. If you think about Monet and Van Gogh and that sort of thing, those were impressionist artists. But I mean, within an abstract art form sense of the word, I just want to give the impression of a garden of foliage coming up into the sky, as if your own perspective were fairly low down compared to the height of the foliage, and you could look up and see some of the foliage reaching up into the sky, and then you would be seeing the blue popping through in between the cracks of the leaves. So that's what I'm aiming for here, and that is why I have the greens mainly in the lower portion and the blues up above. I'm adding just a little bit more of my lightest blue. This is my Light Blue Permanent by Liquitex mixed with my white, a little bit of white to bring that shade down to just a little bit more pale of a color. I don't like what some of the effects were, but I do like the overall basis. All right, so I'm liking this effect a little bit more. There's a little bit better of a flow to it. I didn't like that there was just one big blob of that olivey green color. What was that shade again? Light olive green, right, by Master's Touch. It had been a big blob and I didn't really care for that. But like I said, I don't want too much detail going on. You'll see why, you'll see why. just touching up the corners a little bit. Now you might notice at this point that I've got some beautiful, beautiful lacing and cells going on. We'll take a closer look at that ahead. I'll be definitely showing you some close-up shots in just a little bit. So stay with me because there are some beautiful effects in there, and I'm going to share a little bit about what went into making these results come out the way that they did. And if you want to come and hang out with me in the near future, I'm going to be doing a presentation in honor of a beautiful artist who transitioned off this worldly plane late last year. And I did a beautiful goddess in honor of her. The background, of course, is created on a embellished Dutch pour. The outcome is stunning, so you might want to come check that out and to also pay tribute to a beautiful artist whom you might have actually experienced, at least within the chats of many of the other artist premieres. She was often in chats supporting the other artists and having a nice time with everybody who was also joining in the chats. Her name was Deidre Miller. Beautiful, beautiful person, wonderful person, and I look forward to sharing with you what I knew of her thanks to Lori of Art by Sparkle and Angie of Angie's Fluid Art, who both shared a lot of things about her that they knew personally from their time with her. And I'm very, very touched by what I learned and the presentation I was therefore able to create. And I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. So definitely check that out. You can click on being notified for the premiere because that's coming soon. Or if it's past that point when you're seeing this, then you can, I'll put it in like one of the information cards or the link below. Or you can check my library if I have forgotten to do that by the time it takes place. So I'm just doing some embellishments here. You can see I'm just using the tip of a pen, not an uncovered tip, but the lid on the tip of a pen. Okay, sometimes I'll just grab whatever's handy just to create an effect. Sometimes I don't always bring with me all the tools I end up realizing I could use along the way, and then I end up needing to grab something kind of quickly. Let me know in the comments if that happens to you when you're doing your art. Am I the only one? All right, we're gonna go in now here. Look at this beautiful lacing up in that blue section. This is because some of those lighter colors of blue really separated off that extreme sheen, deep sapphire blue, creating that gorgeous lace-like type of effect. And in this green over the light blue color, the reason that that had that particular effect is that this is coming from that light olive green from Master's Touch. And this is a semi-opaque color, so it's semi-transparent. And the lighter blue is totally opaque. And there is also likely a differentiation in the formulations between the Master's Touch light olive green and the Liquitex and the white that were mixed in together, which are creating most of that light blue background. And so you end up with the effects between the interactions between the chemical composition of the paints, also the interaction between that semi-transparent color coming off the opaque, the fully opaque color. And that's why you can sometimes get really beautiful, interesting results like what you're seeing up there in that corner, which is going to be perfect for my painting because where I need this painting to be a little bit less detailed is down in these darker green areas. And where it's okay for it to be a little bit more detailed is up in that upper section. And you're going to see why in just a little bit. I'm going to give you a sneak peek to what I did. And in the next video, I'm going to be showing you how I actually did some very simplistic brushwork that you can do too. Even if you've got no previous brushwork painting skills, I can show you how to easily create a dragonfly like that. And I'm going to be showing you how I did just that on this painting in the next video. So definitely stay tuned for that if you're interested in checking that out. All right, I really like those two blue cells that popped through that green right there.